Luxury hotel proposed for Douglas Bay to be playground of the rich and famous. A Kalinago territory man charged with indecent assault gets reduced sentence. And a Fonkole murder accused undergoes psychological evaluation before being formally charged. I am Lurian Graham Carter with the Channel 5 News. Details coming up. In the news, a mentally ill man from the Kalinago territory will soon be out of prison based on his guilty plea for indecent assault and a notional 1/3 reduction by the court. More in this report.
45-year-old Ricky Frederick pleaded guilty earlier this year of indecently assaulting a 7-year-old child back in July 2012. The matter came up before the High Court on Friday. The facts of the case indicate that Frederick was cutting grass in the child's yard when the incident happened. Frederick left the job and went to the outside kitchen where the child was at the time and touched her on her private body part. She immediately reported the matter to her mother, who was in the house. In her mitigation, his lawyer, Bernadette Lambert, told the court that her client was remorseful for his actions and for 17 years he has been suffering from a mental illness and has been a patient of Dr. Griffin Benjamin at the APU. During sentencing, Justice Errol Thomas gave Frederick a 5-year jail sentence based on what the court calls a notional 1/3 reduction. The judge considered that Frederick has been on remand for 2 years, which means that Frederick has a balance of 6 months prison term to serve. However, Justice Thomas has suspended that sentence for 3 months. If arrested within 3 months of his suspended sentence, Frederick will be jailed for 6 months. Justice Thomas said to him, smiling, that the court has bent backwards to assist you in your special circumstances. Try to get married and invite me. Close quote. Frederick will be released from prison on October 23, 2015. He is also required to undergo regular evaluation checks at the APU. He must reside in the Kalinago territory, must apply to the prison superintendent for a change of address if he so requires, and must notify the registrar of his telephone numbers.
A psychological evaluation ordered to be done on a murder accused has caused the court to withhold formal charges on him.
When an accused man appeared before a Roseau magistrate this week for allegedly stabbing Kervin Williams of Fonkole to death, his charge was not read to him. Police say Williams, also known as Big Six, collapsed on the Fonkole Road after he was allegedly stabbed on October 8 at about 10:30 p.m. His accused attacker is currently undergoing an evaluation at the acute psychiatric unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital.
But given his condition, what appears to be a mental issue or any other issue, as such, the court ordered that he be kept in custody at the APU or at the mental hospital for evaluation by the consultant psychiatrist. And he's expected to return to court on the 26th of October, hopefully, given the report of the consultant, of the expert, then the charge is expected to be read. If not, if there's a need for further evaluation, obviously that would be intimated to the court.
While the charge has not been read in open court, ASP Wicks says the police have charged the accused. He says they cannot yet say what was the murder weapon used.
The pathologist report will definitely sit to sit. You know, sometimes the experts will tell you it's likely to be that, you know. So that is why the postmortem is critical in the circumstances. The deceased was about 37 years, somewhere about there. So it's a young man, and we see time and time again that issues are settled in a violent state.
In other top stories, Tourism Minister Robert Tong has described Friday's groundbreaking ceremony for a 5-star luxury resort at Douglas Bay as a new milestone for tourism in Dominica. Julian Morris reports from Portsmouth.
Mr. Tong called on Dominicans to prepare to take advantage of the opportunities to be presented by this project He also expressed dissatisfaction with the plans to provide internships for state college students. Vice President of the Kempinski Group, Chit Chat, said, and I quote, "We do not do franchises or four-stars. What we know how to do is luxury." He also spoke of bringing European luxury to Dominica with this hotel. The Honorable Minister Ian Douglas, Minister for Trade and Employment, said past administrations have tried and failed since 1969 to develop this area, but to no avail. He said this hotel would be the playground of the rich and famous. Mohamed Azaria, Vice President of Range Development, said the project would be the envy of the neighboring French islands and would employ about 500 people during construction and about the same number when in operation. The acting Prime Minister, Reuben Blackmore, in his feature address, called on farmers in the neighboring communities to prepare to supply much-needed produce, fish and meat to this hotel. The new luxury hotel is due to open in 2018. Friday's groundbreaking took place on a day which would have been the 74th birthday of the late Prime Minister, Wilsie Douglas. Julian Morris reporting for Channel 5 News.
We'll bring you more from that ceremony in a subsequent newscast. Principal of the Dubla Primary School says the downscaling of independence activities could work to the advantage of her students.
Students of the community regularly participated in cultural activities and independent schools athletics. With a delayed start to school and a shift system with Collio Primary, the Dubla principal thinks the absence of some independence activities could allow students to devote more time to schoolwork.
We will miss that, but we can catch up in the classroom for missing that. If the children are healthy, they should be able to catch up. And if teachers do what they're supposed to do in the classrooms, they should be able to cover what they should cover. I mean, most of the independence activities have been cut off, so that should give us some more time in the classroom. Yes, they may miss out just a little bit of time, but if we do a very good job in the classroom, I think they can catch up.
Challenges for them are scheduling staff and PTA meetings since the building is occupied in the afternoon by the Collio Primary School. The community also has no pipe-borne water since the storm.
We have to share a tank of water. If any of the schools waste water, then we will suffer and have no water the next day. So, I mean, it's very costly to have to deliver water every day, but it is essential if we are to continue. So that is one of our challenges.
The Collio Primary School principal, on the other hand, has had to deal with 10 students being transferred by their parents to other schools.
For the children, they are comfortable, you know, children will be children, you know. We had a population of 47, but some of the parents transferred, but they find before the government agreed to get us into that shift system, some of the parents took their children to other schools because at that time they were still out and they find the children were losing too much. So I was hoping now that we had started, they would have come back, but they have not. Some of them were not very pleased about the shift. They wanted the morning session. So we have lost a few students, quite a few. We have some in Portsmouth and some in St. Joseph.
For the past 14 years, the Rotary Club of Dominica has disbursed $45,000 worth of scholarships to college students. Every year, one Victor Jos Rotary Scholarship and a John Archibald Rotary Scholarship are granted to students of the Dominica State College. Each scholarship is valued at $1,500. On Friday, the Rotary Club awarded 4 students with scholarships. Kelly Gilbert of Glanvilliers and Christelle Vital of Warner have received the Victor Jos Rotary Scholarship, and the John Archibald Rotary Scholarship went to Clintes Below of Salisbury and Elishibug George of Fonkole, who was absent from the ceremony.
This year we'll be granting 4 scholarships because the 2 scholarships that were granted last year were not taken up because of reasons, you know, beyond the control of the students. The scholarship amount is $1,500 per student.
Recipients must maintain a 3.25 grade point average for an academic year as a condition to continue the scholarship.
The students must maintain the GPA of 3.25, as we said. The student must maintain good record of attendance, so we'll be checking on the college to ascertain that. The student must display good conduct at all times. The student must notify the president of the Rotary Club of Dominica in writing if she withdraws from the, or chooses not to continue the scholarship. And if the student is unable to continue the scholarship, then it is terminated. And the student at the end of each semester is responsible for bringing in a copy of their detailed course grades, and then based on that we'll decide if a second award will be granted.
The scholarship funds are provided by the benefactors and set aside for this purpose. The Rotary Club selected the scholarship recipients from a list of 5 applicants provided by the Dominica State College.
As Director of Student Services, you hear the stories from day to day of the number of students at college who are in need, students who struggle to pay their tuition, students who struggle to pay bus fares, etc. to come to school. And when organizations like Rotary come forward to assist our students, we just have to be thankful. Also, I want to encourage other organizations like Rotary in Dominica to come forward, because we have a number of students at college who are struggling to complete their college program, not because they are not doing well, but because they have financial difficulties.
You are watching Channel 5 News. When we return, a call for stricter laws on the theft of agricultural produce. Stay with us. Welcome back. Perennial larceny has become a headache for Ministry of Agriculture officials, and they are appealing to lawmakers and enforcers to clamp down on offenders of this crime. Perennial larceny is a theft of agricultural produce or livestock from a farm or estate. Head of the Extension for Root Crop and Vegetables, Felix Leslie, brought the issue to light at a recent farmers' forum. He told Channel 5 News perennial larceny is a deterrent to agricultural development.
It is a serious problem because some people have actually abandoned their farms or abandoned certain crops because of this deterrent in the sector. And therefore, one believes that these matter, as it stands now, should be addressed much more expeditiously.
The Ministry of Agriculture has had to implement a system to prevent the theft of farmers' produce and livestock.
Within the Division of Agriculture, there is a system in place where farmers are given a produce seller's license. And the produce seller's license should identify you as a farmer, okay? So that when one is buying or purchasing agricultural produce from an individual, he should ask that person for his produce seller's license, okay? And essentially, it's an offense to go to purchase agricultural produce from somebody who's not licensed. So that when you do this, you are technically engaging in illegal business, you know. That introduction of the produce seller's license.
Leslie says although this has helped, it is not totally addressing the problem. He referred to other Caribbean islands that address the crime immediately, a method he hopes Dominica will adopt.
I think we need to understand where the farmers are. We need to understand the hard work the farmers are doing. We need to understand where we are in this country. And we need to promote a level of honesty. We need to understand that we now must do something to uplift the farmers' moral and to boost farmers' confidence, okay? So, I mean, the extension officers, agricultural technicians, they're doing its part. But at the end of the exercise, the farmer needs to reap what he sows and not somebody else reaping what the farmer sows.
Tropical storm Erica has forced the cancellation of Market Day with a difference in Marigot, initially scheduled for this Saturday.
The cancellation comes as a result of numerous factors in the wake of Tropical Storm Erica. Market Day with a Difference is an event where farmers and vendors are awarded in various categories, such as the agricultural produce and vending services. Produce and stalls are also on display during this event.
Pre-Erica period, we had partial drought situation. And post Erica, or during Erica, we had the farms being eroded. We had landslides, we had the rivers overflowing the banks, and access to some farms has been very difficult. And so the production levels have gone down.
Fontaine says all stakeholders were involved in the decision to cancel Market Day with a Difference in Marigot.
And so we've tried everything to ensure that we would be able to host Market Day with a Difference, but it's beyond our control. And so the farmers, the vendors, and the other stakeholders involved in that, a decision was taken to cancel Market Day with a Difference.
Market Day with a Difference is usually celebrated in the community of Marigot, Town of Portsmouth, and the city of Roseau. With the cancellation of the first Market Day with a Difference in Marigot, questions are being raised as to whether or not Market Day with a Difference in Portsmouth, scheduled for Saturday, 24th October, will come through.
We're trying extremely hard to ensure that we have Market Day with a Difference in Portsmouth. As I said, plans are afoot. We had a staff meeting here this morning. The field officers have done quite a bit of work in that direction. So we're hoping that come next Saturday, we will be in Portsmouth. We want to invite the rest of Dominica to come to Portsmouth. And we hope that we can remain on that positive note and ensure that Market Day with a Difference is fulfilled in the Portsmouth community.
Women engaged in rural life from the Bagatelle community are getting help as farmlands in that area have been severely affected by Erica.
Women from the storm-affected areas of Bagatelle, Fosse, Jeanne Point, Carib have received dignity kits, that's packages consisting of hygiene products from the Bureau of Gender Affairs. On Thursday, the Bureau of Gender Affairs observed World Rural Women's Day in the community of Bagatelle. Women in this area are well known for their supply of agricultural produce, more specifically the production of bay oil.
Some of the women there are farmers, lost all their produce. But the most frightening fact is that not only did they lose their produce, which was approaching maturity, but the land itself. And so they can't replant. The bay oil industry, which for decades has been the economic backbone of this community, has been severely affected. 3 bay oil distilleries vanished, in addition to hundreds of bakeries. And most of these women here present, they worked in the bay oil industry.
Other sectors in the Bagatelle area were impacted by the tropical storm.
The fishermen were greatly affected because their main fish market was as far as La Plaine, to include Délices, Boetica, and of course Petit Sylvain. The housing sector sustained its fair share of damages. 11 homes were completely damaged, 8 partially. This included 2 small businesses.
One of the farmers from the Bagatelle area says the tropical storm Erica has washed away all agricultural produce on her land.
It affects me very bad because I cannot make garden there again. Only stones alone that is there. River take all the place. Bay leaf gone. I had 10 trees of cocoa, everything gone. Lime tree gone. And my fig. Everything gone. Breadfruit tree. Only one breadfruit tree God leave for me. I please God leave one tree of breadfruit for me.
Anselm says that though her farmland is ruined, she is still involved in the production of agriculture-based products.
Let me tell you that. That is my daily bread. But I used to make cocoa to sell. My friend, after Erica, my friend brings some cocoa for me to make my hand. She don't care, take the money in my hand. She give it to me to make a little living for myself. I make cocoa, I make castor oil, I sell. Even Erica passed home, and Erica leave my castor seed inside the cupboard. Erica don't take my castor seed. Erica don't take my castor oil. So God love me, God leave it for me.
World Rural Women's Day celebrations were held at the Bagatelle Primary School on Thursday. Andrea Lee, Channel 5 News.
And finally, Dominica has received over $23,000 of medical supplies from the government of Brazil.
The medical supplies include gloves, disposable masks, and various medications. The donation comes in response to Prime Minister Skerrit's appeal to friendly governments to help the country recover from Tropical Storm Erika.
What we have given, those boxes over there, they contain medicines that is exactly the same that a Brazilian would have received in case of a disaster. Our Minister of Health, they have a stock of drugs ready to be distributed in emergency situations. And then, as the emergency, by bad luck, was here in Dominica and not in Brazil.
This contribution of medical supplies to Dominica is extremely beneficial as Brazil is seen as being highly innovative in the field of medicine.
We look forward to continued and indeed improved relations between our two ministries of health and our two nations. We recognize Brazil as one of the rising world powers and are aware of your many medical advances, such as in the area of telemedicine in places such as Belo Horizonte and Sao Paulo. We hope one day soon to be able to partner with you in such areas. But for now, we again publicly would like to express our emphatic gratitude and say thank you from all of us as we proudly promote Caribbean and Latin American unity.
This donation of supplies is not the first time Brazil has been of assistance to Dominica. Following damage caused by Hurricane Dean in 2007, the Brazilian government also lent a hand to Dominica.
The President of Brazil was very quick to respond. Her Excellency Dilma Rousseff sent a favorable response to the request for assistance by Prime Minister Skerrit with an offer of food and medical supplies to Dominica. Subsequently, His Excellency Milton Rondo Filho, General Coordinator of International Actions Against Hunger of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Brazil, notified the government of a shipment of 61 boxes containing medicines and basic medical supplies for the Ministry of Health at a total cost of US $23,163.52.
Joining us for Chit Chat is Mr. Marcel Harrigan, who is the Assistant Event Coordinator of the NCCU Calypso Show. Mr. Harrigan is going to tell us what is up and what is new with the Calypso Show coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, as you know, 2 weeks' time, October 31st, is the day for the Calypso competition. However, more importantly, tomorrow, Saturday, in front of the NCCU building, Rosa Branch, we're going to have a special on the sale of the tickets. The tickets are going to be on sale for $40, only $40. You're paying two for the price of one in terms of you're getting two shows, an individual segment featuring 15 artists, as well as a band segment, 5 bands challenging serenade to dethrone serenade. And tomorrow will be your only opportunity to get the tickets for $40 in front of the NCCU. And also, mapping, if you want to watch the show live on mapping, the traps will be available in front of the NCCU tomorrow, Saturday. So come on down from 10 o'clock, we'll be ready to accommodate you up till 4 o'clock. Additionally, we're going to have Didicel as well as Kubuli, and we're going to have some live performances by the artists, the 15 artists that we have for the show, namely Jude Deloney, Janet Azu, General Nati Labasir, Derose, Triumph, among others. They will be performing also live on stage in front of the NCCU tomorrow morning. So come on down and get your tickets, $40. It won't be available any other day except tomorrow, Saturday, in front of the NCCU.
You heard it here on Chit Chat. Sports is next.
After scoring 251 runs in their first innings, the West Indies scored 67 for 2 in the second innings, following on 27 overs. Bravo and Bishu contributed a combined 26 runs not out after Hope was bowled out and Rathwaite out LBW. West Indies trail by 166 runs with 8 wickets remaining. Sri Lanka still at 484 runs. Meantime, England scored 569 for 8 after 196.3 overs and lead by 46 runs with 2 wickets remaining in the first innings. Rashid contributed 6 runs. Teams will be looking to maintain their winning streak, while others hope to recover from the humiliating defeat when the DFA Premier League continues this weekend. Bath Estate will go head-to-head with Dubla Football Club at the Benjamin Park as they play to decide who the better team is on Saturday at 3 p.m. Both teams have maintained wins since the start of the league and are eager to triumph over the other. The points to be gained from that game will determine which one of the two will be ahead in the league. The doubleheader will continue at 5 p.m. as Steel Bombers and Harlem clash for their first victory since the start of the league. The action resumes on Sunday as Icons hope to get their first win of the league when they play Steinman at 4 p.m. That team boasts 1 win and a draw. At 6, defending champions Exodus will come up against Sagicor, who will be looking to get a 3rd win in the league. Volleyball action at the Nausicaa Beach Circuit on Friday saw the male team up against the USA and the female up against Nicaragua. Dion Vidal, member of the male team, feels proud to represent his country at the games.
It's an exciting thing, you know, you're going to represent your country on a big platform, as I would put it. Also, it's not me and my partner this time traveling together, representing the country at this kind of tournament. It's our second time together, so we're quite excited and full of confidence, especially from the results we got from the last tournament recently.
Details of the matches to be given in a subsequent sportscast. Yet another charity event to be held in aid of persons affected by Tropical Storm Erica. The Teza playing field in Maho will see rounders action when a full men's team from Grand Bay take on an all-star women's team. The day will also see some domino action with a paired domino competition. This Rounders and Domino Festival is in aid of Rounders players from Dubic who are affected by the tropical storm and will run from 10 in the morning till 5 p.m. on Sunday. The league commences on 25th October and will see 20 teams competing. In some track and field news, one athlete to represent Dominica at the NACAC 10K road race in Guadeloupe this weekend. Jabez Ferrara, accompanied by Coach Charles Joseph, left the country on Thursday for Sunday's event. Coach Cedric Harris is optimistic about Ferrara's performance.
It's a big event, a real big event, and we're expecting good things out of him, at least. He can come home for a personal best. That'll be good enough, but still hoping that we can get him on the podium. You know, he's one of our big contenders for the Carista Games in the upper distances, 5,000 more specifically.
Meantime, the first Emmanuel Andrew Memorial 10K road race will be held this weekend. Sunday's race is expected to begin at 3 p.m. in Wesley and end at the Margot Fisheries Complex. Universal Martial Arts Academy Robin Root to hold its first karate examination. The academy, formerly known as Purple Dragon, will see 30 to 45 students assessed at 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. And the first semi-finals of the Kubuli Chebe Sao League culminated on Thursday night when Martian saw 73 does, Giants also 73, and Babi 70 does. Martian won by 6s and will move on to the finals on Saturday. That's all the time we have for sports. Join us next time.
The weather report is next.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. We'll start off this evening with today's infrared satellite imagery. The axis of a low-level trough moved across the Lesser Antilles today, and instability behind this axis will continue to influence the weather conditions across the area during the next 12 to 24 hours. We'll now move on to today's visible satellite imagery, which showed occasional cloudy skies with a few cloud buildups across Dominica during the course of the day. Meanwhile, today's radar imagery indicated a few scattered showers across the island. No significant rainfall was recorded at the airports. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with some scattered showers. And tomorrow, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a few scattered showers. Sea conditions tomorrow will be slight to moderate in open water with waves peaking near 5 feet. And looking ahead, some light winds and warm temperatures will result in partly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers over the weekend and into Monday. And across the Lesser Antilles tomorrow, weak instability will also continue to produce occasional cloudy skies with a few scattered showers across the chain. And on the international scene, sunny conditions are expected in New York and Beijing, thunderstorm activity in Miami and Caracas, and mostly cloudy skies in London. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:58 a.m. and will set at 5:44 p.m. For further information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night and a great weekend.
Before we wrap up, some good news for Mappin's new subscribers. Pay $69 only per month. You also get a chance to win a tablet and other prizes. This offer runs until the 31st of December. That's news. The headlines again. Luxury hotel proposed for Douglas Bay to be playground of the rich and famous. A Kalinago territory man charged with indecent assault gets reduced sentence. And a Fonkole murder accused undergoes psychological evaluation before being formally charged. Let us know what you think via email at news@mappin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscast on our Mappin News YouTube page. On behalf of the production team, I am Lorraine Graham Carter. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.